Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady D.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com. All right, everybody. Well, welcome back to another episode of the Dom Life podcast. And I have to say there, Lady D, you look like you kind of buffed up a little bit.
Lady D, I don't know. I'm in orange today.
You are in orange everywhere.
Yeah, I'm more of a Zorra than a Lady D.
More of a Zorra. So in case you haven't noticed, or in case you're not watching on YouTube, we have Sir Dante in here with me. It's just me and him, one-on-one. We're going to talk Dom shit today.
Yeah.
And we've got a few questions lined up. We've got a few bullet points here, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot more conversation that comes from more than just this. But really excited to just have us sit down with you, kind of a little Dom talk.
We've kind of been doing that the past couple hours because they did their episode.
Yep. Lady D and Zorra was doing theirs, and we really probably should have had microphones on us earlier because
right.
there's been some amazing conversations. And every time we get together like this, that's what it turns into. I'm sure people always wonder. I mean, you take like the swinger lifestyle, people are probably always wondering outside of a club or when you get together at somebody's house, is it just a big orgy or something, and for us, it's not. It's normally just a lot of fun, a lot of conversations, a lot of talking and hey, I tried this out this week. You should try this or,
I'm gonna steal one of the bullet points because it kind of just hit me. When we're at the club, we have fun and it's in the moment. It might be a party, but like just hanging out with you, this is when we get to get inside each other's minds,
right?
And
really dig deep and learn.
Yeah, it's great because I learn a lot more about you in this kind of setting than at the club. At
the club, it's all just fun games.
Yeah.
Beating
we
on
love
people.
That too.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's all fun. Yeah. But I do. I really enjoy the times of just sitting around talking. Even at house parties. I mean, we've had parties here at our house. We've had parties at Ex Libras, and it's conversation, but it never really gets to the depth that we do when it's just us, just kind of hanging out and shooting the shit, pretty much. But all right, so let's get started with this episode. So it would be me and Lady D. We did an episode early on, of what it takes to be a good dominant. And I kind of give my perspective and my opinion of what does it take to be a good dominant. So let's give our listeners a different perspective.
Okay.
What do you think it takes to be a good dominant?
And I'm just going to preface pretty much this whole podcast is you're very fluid. You've been doing this a long time. You're very fluid with your questions and answers.
Sometimes.
And that's why I have bullet points here because it's going to help me remember. But
absolutely.
So you asked me that, and the first things that come to mind are probably some of the things you've touched on. I can't remember the exact episode, but
good. I don't want you to remember.
You got to be able to communicate. You got to be honest. You got to be respectful. You got to take on some level of responsibility. And we can get to each one of those. Maybe we will a little bit. Those are the first things that come to mind. But you asked that, and I started thinking, okay, we kind of know that. I wouldn't say that's surface level. That's actually 101. Like,
yes,
if you're going to be a dominant, you absolutely have to have that.
Right.
But then on the fun side of it, what takes one dominant from being good to say great inside a scene?
Okay.
What is it about a person inside a scene that really gets one going? Because I understand BDSM's a 24/7, and we both live it that way.
Right.
But in the moment, what kind of separates people? And what I did was I played back scenes in my head.
Okay.
And I was like, that was really good. That was really good. And what made it really good? So some of the things I kind of thought about was it starts before the scene actually starts.
Okay.
The buildup, the prep. So there's times I've put something on the calendar days, weeks, or months out, and it's clearly going to be a scene, and there'll be a theme to it.
Right.
But you're getting that other person, the submissive, in a mindset right then and there. As soon as they see that notification, it could be a month out. They're already thinking, all right, what's he thinking? What's he thinking? And of course, they don't get all the details.
Right.
You know,
hell no.
Yeah. No, they don't get all the details. You work within the framework, the guidelines that have already been established, the rules that have already been established. But beyond that, you don't have to tell them anything. You give them bits and pieces of information as time goes on, but you don't tell them the whole story.
So that's probably one of the biggest differences between you and me. You mentioned schedule. Now you are that type of person. Anything you go to do, you're writing it down to start your planning. You're scheduling it out.
Yep.
I usually fly by the seat of my pants.
There's a little bit of that, but yeah, I usually have an overarching type.
But if you and Zorra are planning a play date, you really prepare. You go the extra mile to prepare. So what you're saying is you drop little tidbits, little hints here and there.
Yeah.
In that time that you're planning till the time it actually happens to get her mindset into the same submissive role.
It could be as simple as, don't forget about next Saturday.
Right.
Or you got a hot date next Saturday.
Right.
You know, I'm talking about what we're going to do.
Exactly.
But just something subtle. It could be in the middle of the day. We are in the middle of a conversation over text, and I'll send that, and that keeps her mind on what's going on.
Right.
Because if it's a month out, you don't want to lose that buildup. You want to keep it building. You don't want it to fall off.
I need to do that. I need to start doing that.
They eat it up. They eat it up.
And I know you do that shit, but it's hitting me right now that I don't do that. We don't make plans. All of ours is spur of the moment. You know, we come in from work, we do our workout, we eat dinner, we put the kid to bed at a certain time, and then we're coming to bed. And it all depends on that night. Do I have enough energy to be a dom?
Yeah.
And is she feeling good enough for me to dom her? And so that is either, nope, we'll wait and see what tomorrow is, or yep, we're going to do it right now.
Y'all live by calendar too, though. I mean, you got a lot going on.
We've got a lot going on.
If you put that on our calendar.
Right. And that's what probably something we need to start doing is we need to start setting aside. Yes, you are right. Our calendar stays booked with interviews. Well, obviously we do the podcast every week.
Vanilla
so there's always
life.
something, the vanilla life of doing things with our other friends, the minimum friends, but most all our friends are lifestyle. But yes, that is perfect. Not only, you know, for you listeners, for you watching, huge point right there. And I see exactly where you're coming from with that. And I see the importance of it. So that is definitely something I need to start.
It's become almost, I wouldn't say a necessity, but you know, we were just as busy. Our calendar's full where it's like, okay, we kind of got away. Maybe there was maybe a month where we didn't play to that level that we both love.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like, I've realized, and she either said it or I've realized it internally, that we got to make a conscious effort, and I think we'll get to that in this podcast where it doesn't just happen.
Right.
If you're just like, it'll just happen when it's happened, and then Wednesday night you're free, but she's tired, but you're into it.
So you put it off for
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of where we're at. So, all right, I'm going to take notes on this one myself, and that's something we got to get into. That's huge. I mean, and even then, you go back to a vanilla relationship. You know, a lot of them, the successful ones, will make time for date nights.
Yeah, it's
whether
no
they
different.
Go out to a movie, whether they just go to dinner, no matter what they do. But yes, huge point. Yes, I'm definitely going to take that.
I have bullet points because I'm not as fluid with this as you are. That was just the first one. So we're talking how to be a good dominant.
Okay.
Again, inside the scene. So outside the scene, we all understand those basic gotta haves.
Right.
But we're talking inside the scene. So the build up, the prep. That's the first.
Okay.
You could be a week out, month out, whatever.
All right. What do you got for number 2?
The number 2 I put is maybe not in chronological order, but fluidity. I had to Google that word to make sure it's a real word because it sounded it's a real word.
I'm not going to repeat it because I can't say
fluidity.
it.
and y'all were just talking about dungeon etiquette at Tempted the other night.
Yes.
And I had made a comment because you're asking, okay, what would you like to talk about or hear about? And those, like, I'd mentioned something about, well, if there's a sudden loud laughter or there's loud conversation, that can throw someone's mindset off.
Exactly.
But even in a one-on-one situation where I've heard downstairs at Ex Libris and we're doing our thing, if any kind of distractions or anything pop up where she has the ability to, or the possibility of coming out of subspace, or she's headed that way, and all of a sudden something happens, it could be as simple as, I don't know, a restraint breaks, or I don't know where this toy is, or I say something, hold on one second, I got to go find X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And then all of a sudden she's back to reality, basically.
Yep. And she's starting all over back to, I got to get back into the headspace.
No, so keeping a scene fluid. Like, I don't want distractions. I don't want to have additional negotiations. I will put some stars around that word during a scene. If something needs to be said, sure. Absolutely. Please bring it up. Let's talk about it.
Yep.
But someone like Zorra and I have been doing this for years. We don't need those additional negotiations in the moment.
Correct.
If we try to do that in the moment because we hadn't talked about something beforehand, that's going to throw the fluidity. I hope I'm saying that right, of the scene off.
Gotcha.
So, and even there's times where I need a second, maybe, I got a theme in mind. I got kind of a timeline in mind, but maybe like, okay, this toy, I want to try something else, or this one didn't work. She's kind of in this mood. So let me kind of switch it up, but I don't want to tell her that.
Correct.
I don't want to tell her. So if she's on the cross and she's facing the wall, she's not looking at me, I can sit there and I can take literally 5 minutes and like internally just like calm down or think about it. And she's not going to know the difference. To her, she's just waiting.
She's waiting.
It's still fluid for her. She's still in that mindset. But me, I'm like, that didn't work, or I want to try this, but I don't tell her. Let's make her wait.
Gotcha.
So
that's a good point. All right. Fluidity.
Fluidity.
Maybe I said that right.
This one I'll quickly go over. Music choice. So I have 2 primary playlists.
Oh my God, music is fucking huge. Do it.
So it'll be quick, but I have 2 primary playlists. I have a sexy playlist, which is your kind of standard R&B sexy playlist, maybe
bump and grind kind of shit.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey music. A lot of that those songs are on there. Most people like that. But then I have angry playlist. This is heavy metal. This is rock. When I put this on, her mindset, you can see it in her face. Because she knows I'm in one of those moods. It's more of a sadistic side. Maybe it's a punishment and I put that playlist on, or maybe she just knows this guy's serious. Don't sass him.
He is Dom tonight.
Exactly. And that immediately changes her mindset.
So that and bouncing off of that and then going back to the importance of music. Now, normally music isn't something that we play in the background when we're playing at home, because Lady D always has her earbuds. So that in a way it's good, because I know she's not getting distracted by sounds. The downside of that is when you have your music playing, you can go to the rhythm.
I love doing that.
I do too. I do it at the club. The only problem is my rhythm may not be the rhythm she's listening to. And sometimes I feel that that's enough of a distraction. If you're listening to something that has 50 beats per minute and I'm hitting you 30 beats per minute, the beats are off. And sometimes I worry that could be enough of a distraction.
Could you have a headset or
so you can pair AirPods together.
Okay. So you could listen to what she's listening to.
Yes. But then the other downside is I want to make sure I hear her in case she says something. So therefore, the times that I've put one in and turned it way down just enough where I can hear the music.
Get a feel for the beat.
To get a feel for the beat. But yes, having music in the background, depending on your scene, sets the mood. You know, if you want to do sensual and just soft, light to medium impact kind of things, yes, that R&B, bump and grind, 50 Shades of Grey.
I'll give you one con
Love it.
To the music is she knows when the heavy ones are coming.
She's memorized your playlist.
It's a playlist bump. Yeah. Essentially, she's basically said that to me.
You
I
gotta
know when
shuffle
they're
that
coming.
shit.
Well, so I did that. So we were just talking before the podcast. The last time we played was last Monday, so like almost a week ago.
Okay.
And so I took the two playlists and I meshed them.
Gotcha.
I started with the sensual,
Right.
the 50 Shades of Grey type music, R&B, and then the third song in, I put on one of the angry songs. She was confused, but you could literally see it in her face.
Right.
She gave me a side eye and the whole nine. And then the first like 10 songs were kind of back and forth. And then I landed on the angry playlist. She was lost. So I would go to the beat.
Right.
And then when she would expect a hard hit, wouldn't give it to her. And then I'd throw it out nowhere.
Yeah.
So, but if you kind of think about it, if you go back to the fluidity, there was no fluidity. She couldn't get into subspace. Right. But that was kind of the point. I knew that would happen.
Right.
I knew she'd be confused, but she had told me before that she's used to that.
Yep.
And she likes it. But to change it up on her when she had no idea, it caught her off guard.
There was no
It
fluidity.
really caught her off guard.
There was no fluid titties.
It did. No fluid titties in that one. Yeah.
Perfect example. Yes.
All right, I got one more, and this one,
Let me have it.
I find this very, very important. And I will also preface this with none of this stuff. Now, I'm just noticing it now. Inside a scene is about any physical action really that I'm taking. It's not about how hard you hit, what flogger I'm using, or what piece of equipment. This is all like mental play. Right. Time.
Okay.
Time as a dominant has been my most valuable asset. Make them wait.
Right.
Make them wait. I will stand her. She has a spot. They all have spots.
Oh yeah.
She has a spot outside of Ex Libris where she will stand and stare at the doors, knowing what's coming.
Right.
And I will sit behind her and just kick my leg up. I might even play on my phone. I might just have a drink. And she's just kind of half dancing, and she's in her mind.
Right.
And she doesn't know if 1 minute goes by. She doesn't have her phone. I've already taken it. She doesn't know if 30 minutes goes by. It just does something to them. Making them wait is.
Yep. I can see that. So
be patient. As a dominant, be patient.
You could do that for play, for a scene, or a punishment.
Oh yeah.
And so that works in your favor any which way you want to put it out there. So yeah, that's good. Punishments would definitely be, the longer to make them stay, because they know there's a punishment coming. They just don't know when it's going to start.
They're just thinking about it. What's next?
Right.
How long is this going to be?
I like that a lot.
So those were my four kind of inside the scene. What makes a good dominant or could take you to that next level. So if you already do some of this stuff or already play kinky, try to mix in one or all of these things and see how that changes your scene.
I said that is a perfect perspective. Like a couple of things I didn't even think about that now I've got to start thinking about to start adding into my mix. But yes, definitely worth that. Worth listening to that. And again, for you listening, this is huge. This is, like you said, if you're just starting out or if you're a seasoned one, I've always said, if I ever learn everything there is to be a dominant, it's time for me to leave the BDSM world, because you will never learn it all. So excellent points. All right. So you talked about, several things that you do on, that what you think make a good dominant. A lot of it come up, scene creations, punishments, that kind of thing. And I've heard you talk about several scenes and several punishments that you and Zorra have done. I'm curious to know, where does that creativity come from? Is it just something that pops in your head? I mean, is your mind more fucked up than mine? Because you have the way that you think these stuff through. Some of your punishments, and I'm just going to throw one out there. I don't remember the context, and we don't have to get into it. I bet I know
which one you're talking about.
But it's the one where you had roses torn.
Oh, yeah.
You threw it on, you had them on a table, and then you had her to lay on the table.
So that wasn't a punishment.
That wasn't a punishment.
That was not.
I thought it was a punishment. Okay.
Yeah, I guess you could see it that way.
Right.
You want me to go into that scene? That is literally our all-time favorite scene.
If you're willing to talk about that, I would love for you to talk about that.
That was the theme of that scene. Again, this was, I'm going to go back up to these 4 points, and I bet I can put all four of those points. Actually, I don't think I had music at that time. Maybe I did. We'll do at least 3 of them.
Okay.
The prep, the theme for that was her 20th wedding anniversary. We had known each other a handful of months.
Gotcha.
And she's like, hey, I got my 20th wedding anniversary. What would have been her 20th wedding anniversary coming up. Would you like to celebrate with me? Immediately put it on the calendar, asked her, do you still have your wedding dress from that night? She said, no, but I have the negligee from when I lost my virginity. Perfect.
That'll work.
Wear it. Does it have to survive the night?
Right.
So already this is within the first 5 minutes of us talking about it.
Right.
That's already in her head. It's already on the calendar. We already have a theme. We're celebrating this wedding anniversary. So I'll skip a few steps, but going to the roses. So I basically role played as her husband.
Okay.
On what would have been their 20th.
Right.
And I took these roses out of the vase. Of course, I got her a dozen white roses.
Okay.
As any good husband would.
Right.
And they were in a vase sitting on the table in which I was going to strap her to and do our scene on. And I took them off the table, and I'm in her face. And I start taking them out of the vase. What do roses have?
They got thorns.
They have thorns.
They got a lot of them.
This is very slowly, so this goes into the time thing. I didn't just grab them all and throw them.
No, one at a time.
I'm playing it up hard.
Right.
I'm playing it up one at a time, tossing them on the table.
Okay.
She already knows because I didn't have a dungeon at that point.
Right.
We have played on this table where she got strapped chest down onto the table.
Right.
So I'm throwing them on the table, and you can just see it in her face.
She knows what's coming.
She knows what's coming. She knows she's going to get basically slammed down or put down onto this table, chest down, on top of these roses. What she didn't know, because I wasn't that sadistic, is I had already cut all the thorns off. They came with thorns, but I already took them off. But it didn't matter. It didn't. She didn't know that.
Right. It was still the mindset of it.
The mindset was more important than actually piercing her with those thorns. And honestly, I was new. We had not done any blood play. That could have easily went kind of south.
It could have.
Yeah. So I'm actually glad I did that. Now, if I did something like that, no, those things are staying on. But yeah, it just that little touch.
Yes.
I'll never forget that.
I don't forget that.
Yeah.
I forgot a couple of importance. So it was a scene, not a punishment. I thought it was a punishment. And I couldn't remember everything in detail, but I could remember the roses.
Yeah.
I remembered laying on the table and her getting on the table on top of them. And it was that kind of thing that stuck with me.
That whole scene was over an hour. There was weeks, if not months, of buildup.
Right.
And the one thing that stands out, which stands out to me and her too, is that.
Right.
Just that little, I took my time with it. It made all the difference.
Okay. So do you, and I know it's a hard question to answer, but the creativity from that, was it instant when she said, do you want to celebrate what would have been my 20th wedding anniversary? Was it an instant thought, or did you back up a little bit and say, okay, well, what can I do here that would resemble a 20-year anniversary?
So that theme was put into my lap. There it was.
Right.
She came up with it. I ran with it. The creativity, I would say, comes from, I want to get inside their mind, right?
Right.
I'm huge on
you like the
mental domination, mind control, keeping them guessing. That's why the last scene we did, I switched the music up.
Right.
So I would say my creativity comes from kind of switching it up. They don't know what's next. Let me just throw something random at them.
Right.
And I'll just pluck an idea out of the sky. Maybe I listen to a podcast, or I heard a lyric in a song.
Okay.
And it's like, all right, let's run with it.
So basically, yeah. I mean, and that does answer. There is a lot of people out there that are great at art. There's a lot of people out there that are great at fixing things, and it comes natural to them. Mm-hmm. There's other people, like me, who has to read and research and get other ideas to try to make on my own and stuff like that. So for you, it's just a natural thing for you to be able to, you can hear a lyric or a line in a song, and you can take that and make a scene out of it. So it just comes natural to you.
And that goes into, because we were talking about, or I think we're going to talk about the Dom mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm skipping ahead a little bit,
but
right ahead. It really just fits, is that it's a lifestyle. It's a 24/7 dynamic, which means whether we're in a scene or not, or when I wake up or when I'm in the shower and I'm just thinking, that's on my mind.
Right.
It's on my mind. So if a song lyric comes up
Mm-hmm.
because I'm thinking DS and that dynamic, because it is so important, I'm like, that would fit.
Right.
That just sounds great.
Right.
Or it could be I'm scrolling FetLife and they have this punishment. I could put that in the notes, and it may be 6 months down the road,
Right.
but I could pull that idea out and run with it.
Gotcha. Man, you make me sick. So since you did start, the Dom mindset, it is one of the bullet points here I wanted to go over. Let's just go ahead and skip right on up to it, and hopefully I remember to go back to the other ones.
Can I back up and make one more point?
Absolutely.
We made that little video, that little reel or clip,
the little
right?
TikTok video that
and
we
I
made.
hinted at her ultimate punishment.
Yes. Is
And
now
that-
the time to tell it?
Well, we talked about punishments, so yeah,
Perfect.
I want to tell it. So
Okay.
I actually had to get permission, or we had to agree that I could tell people this.
Okay.
Because it is something in our contract. Per the contract, we don't share everything,
Right.
but
Correct.
when we agree, it's like, I want to share X, Y, and Z, we'll do that. So it also goes into how submissives are different.
Mhm.
Doms are different. They have their different likes, their dislikes, their punishments are different. This punishment for probably half the submissives I know wouldn't be a punishment. They would do it in a heartbeat.
Okay.
Her ultimate punishment is if I was to finish in another girl
Mm-hmm.
and she had to lick it out of her. That is her ultimate
That is
punishment.
her punishment.
That is her ultimate punishment. And
Okay.
and some people listening might be like, well, that was a
Right.
Friday night for me.
Right.
Or no, that sounds really hot. I would love to do that.
Right.
It just her mindset with that. We had talked about this a little bit just on the way over here, but it puts her on a lower level.
Right.
So
She feels like she is on a lower level.
yeah,
by doing that.
and to y'all listening, I gotta give a little bit of background to our relationship.
Yes.
We're DS, we're kinky, we're into BDSM, but we're also open and swingers.
Correct.
Meaning we play solo with other people.
Right.
And it's a delicate balance to be both open and to have a DS, and we both have freedoms and rules. It's hard.
Right.
It is very difficult. We have hard conversations all the time.
Right.
Right.
Correct.
One of the things that I do to maintain that balance is she's always put on a pedestal. That puts her below a common whore.
Right. Gotcha.
It's hard. So
Yes.
I don't insist she does that. It's within my boundaries she set for me,
right.
but it's a punishment, which
So-
I've never had to use.
All right. I'm gonna throw a question at you.
All right.
Don't answer it if you don't want to, or if
Or
it
if I'm
hasn't
not
been-
allowed
If
to.
you're not allowed to, if it hasn't been pre-discussed. What type of rule would she have to break? I'm sure there's several, but where is the line in your all's rules and punishments that would be her punishment? Or is there one?
So we have a couple rules where there is a set punishment, or at least there's a standard punishment.
Yes.
Then we have a list of punishments that are just general.
Right.
These are kind of what we've come up with. There's also a clause in there that basically says, I do what I want.
Correct.
And
Here's
she gives me crap about it all the time. Right. That specific one doesn't have a specific requirement,
Right.
but it would have to be along the lines of something to do with her collar, or something to do with our DS, or
Okay.
playing kinky with someone else. She has very strict rules about playing kinky with someone else.
Correct.
And if she was to cross those boundaries without telling me, like, that is akin to cheating in a monogamous relationship.
Right.
Where the point where, no, this is what you're doing.
Gotcha.
You're going to hate it. You deserve it.
Yep.
I don't want to do this to you, but you're going to do this, and we're going to have a serious conversation
Right.
about what you did and why you received this punishment.
Completely. Thank you for answering that. And again, I know there's with your all's dynamic, And I've said it many times. Anybody we talk to that's new or any of that, yes, me and Lady D are in a dominant submissive relationship 24/7. We're not as strict. I'm not as strict as yours and Zorra's DS. And that's the good thing about BDSM and dominant submissive.
Make it whatever.
There's not a set playlist. You make it your own to what fits your lifestyle. And I look to you for the ideas. How are you so strict? What do you do with your strictness? What rules do you have? I've always asked to read your damn contract, and I know during the last year, you all was one of the first ones we interviewed.
We brought it with us.
You brought it,
yeah.
and I was trying my damnedest to read it from across the table while you was flipping through there. But again, I appreciate you answering that, and I can see what you mean by what she would have to do in order to get that one, because again, for her, that does make her feel like she's on a lower level and she's no longer on that pedestal where she wants to ultimately stay. So
she won't get that for missing a picture or missing some general task.
Right. Gotcha. All right. Cool.
I don't know how we got there. Oh yeah. I had to pull back because we were going into,
all right. So,
else.
Let's talk a little bit about your DS lifestyle. In my eyes, in my opinion, if you are a dominant and you have a submissive, and the only times you see each other is during play or a date night or something like that, I can see that I could be a lot more stricter on a submissive that way. When I look at now we are in a relationship, like me and Lady D, we're married, we live together.
Yeah.
That is where I feel I can't be as strict, because ultimately I have to stay in the same house. And it goes along the lines, everybody says it, happy wife, happy life. Although a submissive's mindset is wired a little differently, they expect the punishments. They expect, they want to know the rules, and they know if they break a rule, they want the punishments, and they want to do all this. So I'm curious, because I know how I live my life in this DS lifestyle with Lady D. So I'm curious with you, what issues have you faced, or do you see that you would face by being a dominant to somebody you're living with?
Issue is a strong word. So this first answer I give you, I wouldn't call it an issue.
Okay.
As much as just kind of how it is.
Okay.
It's not like an issue and then you got to fix it and it's not an issue.
Right.
I love that woman. DS aside, I love that woman. I'm 100% committed to her. Whatever that means, we are in this together.
Right.
How do you go from that to being sadistic towards someone?
Right. That's tough.
It's easy. I mentioned we're open.
Yes.
So we have solo dates. I have solo dates. And because we're not connected on that emotional level, it's easy to be mean to what we've agreed to.
Right.
To degrade them, to use them.
Right.
And yeah, Zorra and I do some of that, but that's the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Right.
So to separate those two, it's hard.
Okay.
So not necessarily an issue, just something that comes with the territory. It takes more work to allow myself to be that way with her.
Okay.
I do it, but internally,
right,
it's more of a struggle than I meet someone, they want an experience.
Right.
I'll give you the experience, whatever.
Okay. So I'm gonna
follow up.
I'm gonna veer off this
Okay.
page right here. I'm gonna try to, and again, answer if you can, answer if you will, or look at me and say, I'm not answering that. I'm good either way. But this is for me, you viewers at home, listeners at home, you're welcome. But this is for me. All right. Let's say you have a relationship argument, a boyfriend, girlfriend argument. You're not arguing about sex. You're not arguing about DS. You're not arguing about none of this.
Okay.
So it could be like a household. You was supposed to do something and you didn't do it, and it went days and days and days, and she finally done it, and now she's mad and pissed at you, and you all are into an argument. Does your dominant come out to stop that argument?
That's a good question.
I know, right?
Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com, where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us, and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.